Well, let's take a look at what we're seeing out there. Hazy skies at Navajo Lake, 87 degrees and otherwise, clear, but my goodness, that is a lot of smoke, and the source of that is coming from Arizona and those fires burning to the west. So I'm sorry, in the Four Corners, it looks like it's going to be hazy skies for the next few days. But in terms of what I'm looking at here at Buffalo Thunder, I have it sort of pointed toward the southeast, and you can see that there is a little bit of storm activity, at least over higher elevations. But right now it's 93 degrees in Albuquerque. So not exactly cool, but certainly not as hot as last week when we were getting into the triple digits. Right now, there are only a few areas out there with some rain and also some areas with some severe weather. So let's talk about the marginal risk. This is level 1, so it's the very lowest level in terms of threat. But still, we could see gusty winds and possible hail within this portion of the state as we get toward later on tonight. And some areas are already experiencing some severe weather, severe thunderstorms out toward areas to the west of Wagon Mound. You can see there's a lot of strong storm activity along 285 just to the south and of Vaughn, I should say, and down to the southeast. In terms of Ruidoso, there are no immediate threats, but there is enough moisture in the atmosphere and frankly enough nearby storms that there will be a flood watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight for that area because of isolated heavy rain, or at least the threat of it. This will come back tomorrow as well when we're expecting a little bit of an uptick in terms of monsoon rain. But across the southeast, this is where it seems the most active, near areas like Lovington and out toward Artesia. This will continue to get more active as we get later on into the evening. Meanwhile, the storms that we're spotting across the southwest mainly going to start to break apart, but you can see that right here. There are a few areas that are outliers in terms of temperature. 70s, Las Vegas up to Raton. Taos, I think we're dealing with some cloud cover up there. That's helping at least mute some of those temperatures. But the rest of the state still in the 90s across the south, and we even have some 80s in those higher elevations. Isolated storms may continue to push, and you'll notice it comes across Eddy and eventually Lee County. That's going to be moving in overnight into tomorrow morning for that section of the state. But by the afternoon, the heat of the day gets another round of storms going, scattered in the north, isolated in the south, but still with some flood potential for areas like Ruidoso and the Hermit's Peak burn scar as well. You can see that as far as isolated storms, it's going to start to wind down as we get toward the end of the work week. It's not going away entirely, but these storms will become a little bit more isolated, and then they'll start to move back up in intensity, or at least in number, as we start getting toward the weekend, especially in the mountains. So it's going to be a little bit of a dip in terms of rain chance, and then it's going to start to rise once again by this weekend. You can see across the southeast, it's going to be, I'd say pretty warm, a little bit above average for Carlsbad at 94 degrees. Isolated storms, those are going to be getting going in the afternoon. Across the southwest, I'm anticipating a lot of heat, and that means that the rain chance is going to be pretty good because the heat of the day really causes that convection and gets those storms going, especially in those higher elevations. Across the northeast for tomorrow, mostly 70s and 80s, but hazy skies once again across the northwest, and that goes for Farmington, so we may not see much rain. You will see a lot of smoke. And you can see for Las Vegas up to a 50% chance of rain for tomorrow. We'll be nice and cool in Red River with a high of 68 for tomorrow. A nice 50% chance of showers for Santa Fe as we get toward the afternoon and evening. And I'm anticipating some mid-80s into the 90s as we get into the metro. You can see that we're expecting to see some isolated storms. Best chance is going to be late afternoon into the evening hours for Rio Rancho and for Albuquerque.